Hello and welcome. This is Wisdom. I'm Wisdom, and this is Wisdom Talks. And today I wanted to give you a quick message on knowing that God will clear your name. Okay. I have been going through my notes and I saw a couple notes that I had wrote down on this. And so I was like, I think I'm going to do a video on this. God will clear your name. Has it ever been a time where you might have been backstabbed? You might have been misunderstood. You might have been betrayed. You might have been just in a situation where you know you didn't do anything wrong. But for some reason, it was a whole bunch of miscommunication or misunderstandings and just a whole lot of things going on behind your back. You have to know that God will clear your name. Okay, God will clear your name, especially if it's a thing where you didn't do anything wrong. You pretty much were being genuine in the situation, right? And let me say this, sometimes misunderstandings are divinely guided. Sometimes miscommunication and misunderstandings are guided for you to kind of like get out of a situation. Sometimes we are around people and in situations that we're just not supposed to be. So sometimes God will allow miscommunication and misunderstandings to happen in order for two people or for a situation not to be present in your life anymore. So I know it might be hard because you might be thinking, well, I didn't even do anything to this person, or I tried to do the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing. And you still felt like you came down on bottom. You still felt like you did not, it just went wrong. You know, you might have thought that you were going to do something good and you were going to like make something better, and it actually made it worse. And so you have to understand that He clears everything up. You just got to give it time. Okay. You got to give it time, and you got to know that in time, God will show everyone who might have talked bad about you, or everyone who might have, done you wrong or backstabbed you or whatever the miscommunication was. God will reveal everything in time. So you don't have to sit around and, kind of hold on. Because when you get betrayed or you get backstabbed, you can feel angry. You can hold on to that hurt. You can hold on to that anger. Like, I didn't do anything. What is the problem? What is going on? But you have to understand that everything that happens is for a reason. Nothing in life that happens is ever just happening by chance or by everything that's happening in life is always happening for a reason. Everything that you might not understand, especially when it's like a misunderstanding, in due time. That's why most people say time will reveal. Time reveals all. All you got to do is keep getting up and living your life and doing the best you can do as a human being. But eventually God will expose the truth. So if you were in a situation where you were portrayed to be the bad guy, you were portrayed to be, an evil person, or you were just completely, your name was completely tarnished, and to your core you didn't do anything, best believe one day that's going to be revealed. God is going to bring that out. All right. Because He's not going to allow someone to walk around and talk bad about you, or walk around and lead other people, astray, or bear false witness against you. He's not going to allow that to happen. He might allow it for some time, but just know that one day God will reign in, and He will step in, and He will clear everything up. Okay. And I wrote down here that I think I already said this, but I'll say it again. You have to understand that when this happens, okay, it's mostly for many things. Okay. It could be because maybe it's just time for you to go on a different journey. Maybe it's time for you to go in a redirection. All right. Maybe, God is like, no, I don't really want them together anymore. I don't really want them friends anymore because I have two totally different paths for them. And this friendship is low key keeping you in the same space. Sometimes misunderstanding is what happened just for you to fall out with people. Just for God to be able to have a quote unquote excuse to remove people from your life. Right. And a lot of times God is revealing to you who people are. right? So when you are having a misunderstanding with somebody, or when there's miscommunication and someone is not fully understanding what's happening or what's going on, this is when God is revealing who people really are. So how you handle a miscommunication or misunderstanding, that shows who you really are. And it's the same thing for other people. So many times God will allow something to be misconstrued so that he can show you who this person really is. But he's also showing you some of the things that you may have in your life that just might not be for you. And see, I just said this. Exactly. Sometimes it's like a quote unquote excuse to get clear certain people up. Let me tell you something. When you are on your way to really becoming who God is calling you to be, to really walking into success and to really get into that life, let me tell you something. God will allow certain people to hurt you. He will allow it. It just has to happen. Okay? He will allow certain people to hurt you and reject you because he's taking you up. You ever heard that saying where it says like everybody can't go where you're going? That's exactly what this is like. Everybody can't go where you're going. Everybody is not going to be eating at the table. You might have started with some people, but that doesn't mean you're going to finish with them. And so when you are going through something and you just feel so misunderstood, and you're trying to get your point across over and over and over and over and over again, right? You actually might be doing more harm than good, because when God is allowing a misunderstanding to happen, when he is allowing somebody to harden their heart towards you, when he's allowing that, it's always for a reason. It's always in a purpose. It's always to breed you up, and is, like I said, it's always to reveal who people are. It's also to show you who you are. It's also to show you who is not really supposed to be around. And it's also for redirection. So that'll be the main things that I'll say that God allows misunderstandings and miscommunication to go on. And we have to understand that we cannot fix certain things. We cannot intervene. We're thinking that we can intervene and say, oh no, it was just a misunderstanding. But like I said, sometimes you'll think that you're fixing something and God will harden the person's heart. Just how it was kind of with Pharaoh, right? And when Moses was trying to free the people out of Egypt, and it said that God hardened his heart. He hardened Pharaoh's heart. Okay. And so that's exactly what this is like. Sometimes he will allow it to happen for the greater purpose. So whether it means that the misunderstanding is supposed to just be the way it is, and, it'll never get fixed or patched up, that might be for the betterment of you. Okay. Remember, God knows who people really are, and God knows how people really feel about you in their heart. So even if you don't think, you might be thinking it's a misunderstanding. You might be thinking it's completely wrong, right? But God might be like, no, this is completely right. And this is completely necessary. So you have to trust that if he's allowing something to dwell, especially if it's a long time, you have to trust that it is what it is. But at the same time, you also have to know that if he's allowing someone to tarnish you or just be just not a good person to you, especially if you were genuine and pure in a situation, you have to understand that he will clear your name. He will clear your name. He will not allow someone to talk bad about you for too long, bear false witness, gossip about you, and have negative things to say, especially for someone who hasn't done anything. Okay, so you have to understand that it might be hard right now. You might be frustrated. You might feel like you want to, you just might feel like you're not understanding what's going on. But you have to understand that in due time, all is revealed. So Allow the miscommunication to be, allow the misunderstanding to be, and also just know that if you're losing people, oh, let me tell you something. If you're losing people, if people are turning on you and rejecting you, you are going somewhere that is unstoppable. You are finally elevating and getting where you gotta be. Okay? So I hope this resonated with you, and I hope this is what you needed to hear. God will clear your name. Might take longer than you think, but he will do it. Okay? Because he is a just God. So I'm Wisdom. This is Wisdom Talks, and I will see you in the next talk. Bye.